In the year 2563, 300 years after a catastrophic war known as the Fall, a cyberdoctor named Ito roams through the scrapyard of Iron City, scavenging for usable parts. While searching, he comes across the broken remains of a female cyborg. Amazingly, her human brain is still alive. He brings her home, and with help from his nurse assistant, he rebuilds her using a special body he once made. The next morning, the cyborg wakes up in a cozy room, stunned by her new appearance. She explores her new body in the mirror, then gets dressed and heads downstairs. There, she finds Ito treating other patients. He welcomes her warmly and offers her breakfast, but she struggles to even remember how to eat. Ito realizes she has no memory of her past life, no name, no identity, and no records anywhere. Outside, Alita gets her first look at Iron City, a rough and gritty place built beneath the floating city of Zalem. Zalem is where the elite live, and while people on Earth work endlessly to serve it, no one is allowed to go there. Ito gives the girl a name, Alita. He invites her to live with him. While running errands, Ito takes Alita with him. Along the way, she sees a motorball match on a giant screen and befriends a street dog. Then she notices a bounty poster for a criminal who murdered 6 women. Suddenly, a massive robot appears in the street. Without hesitation, Alita steps forward to defend others, but a young man named Hugo jumps in and pulls her out of the way. Impressed but cautious, he warns her not to get involved with Centurions, the enforcers of the city. They begin to connect, but Ito returns and takes Alita home. That night, a woman is attacked by the wanted killer. Meanwhile, Alita wakes up and sees Ito sneaking back home late with a suitcase and blood on his hand. The next day, while helping at the clinic, she hears about cyborgs getting their limbs stolen and sold on the black market for motorball upgrades. Another woman was killed the night before, and Alita becomes suspicious of Ito, especially after seeing a wound on his wrist. Later, she runs into a mysterious woman named Chirin, who grabs her hand and scares her off. Alita flees, but it's revealed that Chirin is Ito's ex-wife. They had once built the body for their paralyzed daughter, who tragically died. Chirin wants to work with Ito again to build a motorball champion, hoping to buy her way into Zalem. But Ito refuses. He won't build monsters. Alita continues to spend time with Hugo. One afternoon, he teaches her how to play motorball, lending her skates. At first, she struggles, but she quickly learns and even scores well. Later, he treats her to her first taste of chocolate. As they talk, they spot a hunter warrior named Zapan, armed with a sword, because guns are banned. Days pass and Alita settles into a routine, helping Ito by day and hanging out with Hugo afterward. One evening, Hugo takes her to a tall building where they can see Zalem. He shares his dream of going up there someday. Since Ito found her in the scrapyard, Hugo believes she may have come from Zalem herself. That night, Alita sneaks out and secretly follows Ito. She sees him stalking a woman named Nishiana into a dark alley and pulls out a weapon. Thinking he's the killer, Alita jumps in to stop him, only to find out Ito is actually a hunter warrior, hunting criminals for bounty. But it's a trap. Nishiana and Romo, both dangerous cyborgs, attack Ito. He fights back, but they overwhelm him. Alita rushes to help, and to everyone's shock, she fights with incredible skill. She defeats Romo with ease and kills Nishiana as well. Then, Grishka, a monstrous cyborg, steps in and fights her. During the intense battle, Alita suddenly remembers a scene from her past, fighting on the moon in a special suit, with someone calling her 99. Back in the present, she uses a powerful kick to take off Grishka's arm and drives him off. Later, Ito turns in Nishiana's body for the bounty, which helps keep his clinic running. Alita demands answers, so Ito takes her home and reveals the truth. He and Chirin had a daughter named Alita who died when a violent patient attacked the clinic. Ito had built the new body for his daughter, and when he found the cyborg girl in the scrapyard, he used it for her. Alita's original core, however, is over 300 years old and contains an antimatter reactor powerful enough to power the entire city, technology not seen since before the fall. Meanwhile, Grishka returns to Chirin and Vector, revealing Alita's fighting skills. But Grishka suddenly begins to speak with a different voice. He's been hacked by Nova, the powerful overlord of Zalem. Nova uses cyborgs like puppets and now wants Alita dead. He commands Chirin to rebuild Grishka and send him after her, promising to take Chirin to Zalem in return. Later, Alita begs Ito to give her the powerful armored body she found in a crashed ship, but he refuses, knowing it's a berserker body made for war. He wants her to live a normal life. Ignoring his wishes, Alita registers as a hunter warrior and visits a rough bar where the other bounty hunters hang out. She asks for their help in hunting Grishka, but they all mock her. Zapan in particular makes fun of her for being small and inexperienced. Alita fires back at Zapan with a sharp insult, sparking a fight. Zapan charges, but Alita easily defeats him. Frustrated with everyone underestimating her, she challenges the entire bar. If she beats them, they must agree to help her fight Grishka. A wild brawl breaks out, and Alita wipes the floor with the hunter warriors. Even Hugo joins in to help. Just as things spiral out of control, Ito arrives and shuts everyone down, threatening to charge them for repairs. As Ito scolds Alita for her reckless actions, Grishka suddenly crashes in, showing off his new upgrades by killing a man. Alita stands her ground, and even the dog she befriended comes to protect her. But Grishka mercilessly kills it. Furious, Alita paints war stripes on her face using the dog's blood and engages Grishka in battle. He opens a hole in the ground, dragging her into the ruins below for a brutal fight. Although Alita holds her own, Grishka's upgrades give him the edge. He wounds her and mocks her, revealing they were both made by Nova. Alita falters, emotionally shaken. But just as she's about to fall, a memory surfaces, her warrior mentor Gelda, reminding her to never give up. With one arm left, Alita launches herself and punches through Grishka's eye. Ito and Hugo arrive just in time, and McTeague sends in his cyborg dogs to scare Grishka off. Ito takes Alita home and finally gives her the berserker body. It immediately bonds with her. The next day, Alita feels more powerful than ever and discovers her hands can generate plasma energy. She meets Hugo and tells him the new body heightens her senses. As he touches her, Alita feels true human connection and they kiss. Meanwhile, Nova, speaking through Vector, scolds Grishka for failing and questions his loyalty. Vector decides he can't rely on him and turns to Hugo instead, getting him drunk to extract information. The next day, Alita finds Hugo hungover. He talks about his dream to reach Solemn. Moved, Alita offers her heart to fund his ticket, literally removing it from her chest, but Hugo refuses, not wanting to risk her safety. He says Vector wants her to join Motorball instead. Alita agrees, but only if Hugo becomes her coach, so they can reach Solemn together. Unbeknownst to them, Zapan watches from afar. On the night of Alita's big Motorball debut, Ito gives her special armor and high-performance skates. She chooses the number 99, a nod to her past. Meanwhile, Vector bribes the other players, offering a reward to anyone who can kill her. Elsewhere, Hugo finds his old crew stripping parts from a cyborg. He tells them he's done with this life. Tanji protests and a fight breaks out, but Zapan interrupts, kills the cyborg to frame them, and stabs Hugo in the shoulder. As Tanji tries to help, Zapan kills him too. Hugo throws a Molotov and escapes, with Zapan in pursuit. Back at the stadium, Ito realizes something's wrong. The other Motorball players are all hunters, not athletes. This is a trap. He warns Alita through her built-in communicator, but she refuses to run. She stays and fights, effortlessly defeating every opponent. Then, she gets a call from Hugo. He's wounded and needs her. Without hesitation, Alita smashes through the stadium screen and takes the fight to the streets. She defeats her pursuers and reaches Hugo just in time to stop Zapan from killing him. But then, the bounty system marks Hugo as a murderer. Hugo confesses. He did take cyborg parts, but he never killed anyone. Zapan insists the code demands justice. When Alita hesitates, Zapan stabs Hugo himself. As a Centurion arrives to claim the body, Alita escapes with Hugo. In a hidden place, he swears his love and innocence. Chiron watches from a distance. Touched by their bond, she chooses to help. When Alita returns carrying only Hugo's head, the Centurion accepts it as bounty. But Zapan sees something's off. Hugo's brain is still alive, connected to Alita's core. Furious, he tries to attack, but that breaks Hunter code. The Centurion marks him as a criminal, giving Alita the chance to destroy his face and claim his sword. Later, Ito finishes building a new cyborg body for Hugo, though it's basic. He explains to Alita that Vector's promises were lies. No one gets to Zalem unless they become the Motorball champion. Ito and Chiron both came from Zalem once, but were forced down to Earth after their daughter was deemed flawed. Ito even removed his forehead mark to erase his past. Vector confronts Chiron for helping Alita. She tells him that Alita reminded her of her true calling, as a doctor and mother. She doesn't care about Zalem anymore. Vector sends guards after her. Now fueled by anger and heartbreak, Alita storms the Hunter Warrior headquarters, which also houses the cyborg factory. Using Zapan's sword, she tears through security, destroys the bounty system, and bursts into Vector's office. There, she discovers Chiron has been taken apart, her organs harvested. Grishka ambushes Alita, landing a serious hit. Another memory returns. Back during the war, Alita and Gelda were climbing the cargo tubes to Zalem. A deadly defense ring killed their entire squad. Alita barely survived, saved by Gelda, who reminded her that their mission was to destroy Zalem. Inspired, Alita activates her body's self-healing, recovers quickly, and kills Grishka in seconds. She demands to speak to Nova. Nova speaks through Vector's body, threatening to kill Ito and Hugo next. Furious, Alita stabs Vector to silence him. Just then, Ito contacts her. Hugo is climbing the tube to reach Solemn. Alita rushes to him, pleading for him to stop. But Hugo, blinded by hope, keeps going. Nova activates a serrated defense ring. Alita dodges it, but Hugo is badly hit and loses most of his body. She grabs his hand to save him, but his arm breaks off, and he falls to his death. Months pass. Alita is now a Motorball superstar. In the middle of a game, she lifts her sword and points it straight at Solemn, silently declaring her promise. She will rise, become champion, and one day bring Nova down. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.